Hi, my name is Patrick, and today we're going to talk about the arguments for and against the death penalty. What we will be speaking about today is what is the death penalty, laws in Australia regarding the death penalty, arguments for the death penalty in regards to ethical theories of utilitarianism, and justice and rights in regards to retribution, and also arguments against the death penalty when talking about human rights and Kantianism. And then finally, a conclusion. Firstly, what is the death penalty? The death penalty, capital punishment, also known as the execution of an offender who is sentenced to a death by a jury over a major criminal offence. Crimes that warrant the death penalty can include espionage, crimes against the state, trafficking crimes, and murder. To this date, there are 58 nations, including powerful countries like America, who are still using the death penalty. Laws current and past involving the death penalty in Australia. Nobody has been executed in Australia since 1967. From the year 1973, the Death Penalty Abolition Act 1973, the Commonwealth, was placed upon for all offences under the law of all states and territories. And out of all states, New South Wales was the last to follow the Act in 1985. On March 2010, the Act was amended by our government to now what is known as the Torture Prohibition and Death Penalty Abolition Act, which is extended to all states and territories. The prohibition of the death penalty as a sentence. Now, arguments for the use of the death penalty using ethical theories. Utilitarianism. Utilitarianism is a consequentialist theory of morality which focuses on the consequences of an act, and its main concern is, will this bring the greatest happiness and pleasure to the greatest number of people? From the view of a utilitarian, they would not be focusing on the consequences of a prisoner losing their life, but more so that the execution of the prisoner will increase society's overall happiness. For example, the victims' families would feel safer knowing the justice has been served and the prisoner cannot harm anyone again. A study in America shows that utilizing the approach of the rule utilitarian enforces capital punishment, prevents the inmate from committing such crimes again, protecting the community. Another positive note is the death penalty is cost effective, lowering overall prison costs for prisoners of long-term sentences. Secondly, retribution is the act of giving what they deserve regardless of the consequences. Guilty people deserve to be punished in proportion to how severe the crime is. This argument states that justice requires individuals to suffer from the crimes they have committed, to suffer in a way in which in terms relates to how severe the crime is. For example, a murderer should be sentenced to death. This is what John Locke refers to as an eye for an eye in the definition of retribution. A study by Rudlett and Borg, 2006, relates to this argument of retribution, proving that families of the victims favour the death penalty purely because they deserved it, and this retributive act helped with closure. Now we're going to have a look at arguments against the use of death penalty using ethical theories. Human rights. John Locke believed in natural rights, being every individual is born with them. The two aspects we look at include life and liberty. Life, being individuals cannot have their life taken from them unjustly, and liberty, individuals cannot be imprisoned without just cause. What if someone whom is executed is actually innocent? The unjustified execution of innocent people by the government is a direct violation of every individual's life and liberty. As well as violating individuals' rights, natural rights, capital punishment is known to be expensive and often being applied, violating the main principle of non-discrimination. The second ethical theory we're going to look at is Kantianism. The theory of Kantianism focuses on right or wrong decisions in relation to duty and individual rights. Also known as deontologists, the death penalty is a direct violation of the right to life, which is a universal law for deontologists. The argument being, killing the prisoner will cause the families of these prisoners to become victims themselves. Now, is that the right thing to do? In conclusion, the arguments put forward for and against capital punishment are on one hand moral when talking about retribution and preventing crimes being committed again by the offenders, and then on the other hand it's immoral because it's in violation of our natural rights of life and liberty. The ethical theories support these arguments from their different perspectives of what is morally the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do, and whether the consequences of the act should be taken into account. Thank you.